Imagine a time when golf wasn't just a game for the pros. It was a gentleman's contest where the greatest amateurs could go toe-to-toe with the most accomplished professionals. And in 1930, one man did the unthinkable. He won golf's Grand Slam. That man was Bobby Jones. Today, we take you back to the golden age of golf, when an amateur conquered them all. This is the story of Bobby Jones, Walter Hagen, and a year that changed golf forever. The year is 1930. Golf is still evolving, an era when amateurs and pros share the same stage. There's no divide between stars of the country club and those playing for paychecks. For Bobby Jones, an amateur with nerves of steel, this world was his playground. Jones was not just a player, he was an artist. He made the game look effortless. On the other hand, Walter Hagen, the reigning pro, embodied swagger and showmanship. He lived for the limelight. Additionally, it is important to highlight the experience difference between the two. Hagen had been a professional golfer since 1912 and Bobby Jones had only started to capture national attention as a golfer in 1917. Jones and Hagen represented two sides of golf. Jones, the fiery amateur, and Hagen, the more level-headed professional. Their rivalry added to the magic of the 1930 season, where every swing counted. Also, their rivalry helped draw more attention to the sport of golf, especially considering the fact that both Jones and Hagen were quite popular among golf fans. By 1930, both Jones and Hagen were established figures in the world of golf. Hagen had won multiple major titles while Jones had won 7 major championships prior to the 1930 season. However, Bobby Jones would soon pull off a feat that had never been accomplished before. It would cement his legacy as a golf legend. The Grand Slam wasn't a formal title back then, but the challenge was clear. Win the US Open, British Open, US Amateur, and British Amateur, all in one year. No one had ever done it. Many thought it impossible, but Bobby Jones was confident that he could accomplish this feat and form a unique legacy as a golf player. Bobby Jones started his historic campaign in June in the British Amateur at St. Andrews. With precision and grace, Jones outplayed a field of amateurs and professionals alike, proving that strategy and patience trump power. His iron play was nothing short of genius. In a thrilling finish, Jones held off some of the best in the world, clinching his first of 4 titles in the Grand Slam. St. Andrews set the tone, and the golf world started to take notice. Next came the British Open at Royal Liverpool. The stiff winds and tricky links didn't intimidate Jones. In fact, the challenge seemed to elevate his game. He played with a surgeon's precision, navigating bunkers and slopes like a seasoned pro. By the final round, Jones had built an insurmountable lead. He became the first amateur to win the British Open twice, and it was clear. History was in the making. The last 2 legs of Jones's Grand Slam were the US Open and the US Amateur. Despite winning 2 major championships in 1930 already, the pressure on Bobby Jones was immense. Every golf fan in the world followed his journey with breathless anticipation. At Interlaken, a legendary golf course at the time, Jones faced fierce competition in the US Open. But once again, he delivered a masterclass in golf's finer points. He carved his way through the field and sealed another victory with the confidence of a champion. Finally, it all came full circle. Back at Eirian, where it had begun, Jones played in the US Amateur, the final piece of the puzzle. In front of a captivated crowd, Jones showcased his unmatched composure and skill. And with that, Bobby Jones did the impossible. He became the first golfer to complete the Grand Slam. His unique Grand Slam has never been repeated, since no amateurs have won major championships in golf since 1933. It is also important to point out the fact that Jones did not earn any prize money for winning the 1930 US Open. This is simply because he was an amateur player. Instead, McDonald Smith, who finished second and 2 shots behind Bobby Jones at the tournament, claimed the winner's prize of $1,000 as the top professional at the tournament. This unusual occurrence is another notable fact, by the 1930 U.S. Open. After completing this historic Grand Slam, everybody in the world of golf, from fans to other players, expected Bobby Jones to continue his legendary career. Given the fact that Jones was only 28 years old in 1930, he was in his prime as a golfer. He was clearly one of the best golfers in the world at that point, possibly even the best outright. However, Bobby Jones made a decision that shocked the world of golf in 1930. Instead of continuing his career and accomplishing even more feats as a legendary player, Bobby Jones chose to retire from playing golf competitively in 1930. No one expected this at the time, and even now, it is one of the most surprising retirements in the history of golf. Despite this early retirement, Bobby Jones is still rightly considered a legendary player and an extremely influential figure in the history of golf. Jones played his last round of golf in 1948 in an exhibition game at East Lake Golf Club. This was an exhibition round at his home course, so it was a fitting end to his journey as a golfer. It is also important to discuss the 1930 PGA Championship. The 1930 PGA Championship was held at Fresh Meadow Country Club in Flushing, Queens, New York. This was the 13th PGA Championship, and the tournament was a match play championship at the time, unlike in the modern day. It started with a stroke play qualifier, then moved on to match play between the professionals, who finished in the top 32 in the qualifying round. In the final, Tommy Armour won against Gene Sarazen and secured his second major championship. The measly top prize at this professionally-only tournament demonstrates the massive increase in prize money in golf during the following decades. Meanwhile, Walter Hagen continued to dominate the professional scene. Though he never won the Grand Slam, Hagen's legacy was just as significant. His flamboyant style and multiple major titles paved the way for the professional tour we know today. Hagen and Jones couldn't have been more different, but together they defined an era, when the lines between amateur and pro blurred, and golf truly was a gentleman's game. Despite the fact that Bobby Jones retired from competitive golf after completing the Grand Slam in 1930, he continued working in the sport as an equipment designer and instructor. The spirit of the amateur lived on, at least for a little while. In 1930, Johnny Goodman became the last amateur to win a major championship when he captured the U.S. Open title. Since Goodman's win, no amateur has conquered a professional major. The game shifted, pros took over, and the era of gentlemen amateurs winning major tournaments slowly faded. Bobby Jones' story is a reminder of a time when passion, skill, and respect for the game mattered most. His legacy lives on, especially in the Augusta National Golf Club, the home of the Masters, which he co-founded. Even though the gentleman's game has evolved, Jones's contributions as a player, designer, and instructor remain deeply rooted in the sport. Thanks for watching this series on golf history. If you enjoyed this journey through golf history, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Let us know, what's your favorite moment from the golden era of golf? And who do you think could come closest to Jones's Grand Slam today? Stay tuned for more great sports stories.